whether it's unique in a sense of a community that's unique, like gay people, or unique individually. To me, it's a beautiful thing. But people like that who are conformists and traditionalists, and there's nothing wrong with tradition per se unless you're using it against people. But if you are not fitting into their mold, then they look down on you and act as if you are somehow lesser than they are, and that
exactly
pisses me off. And it doesn't piss me off because I feel lesser than. It pisses me off because my entire life I've witnessed people treating people that way, and I've been treated that way before as well, of course. And I just for some reason have never ever been able to stand for that. I just don't look like, to me, human. I mean, I don't know. It sounds so stupid, but human beings are human beings to me. They're just people. And so, like the woman, the man who's got, I'm serious about this. The man who's got $10 billion in his bank account, to me, is no different in terms of his value as a human being than the man who's homeless on the street because he can't find a job or whatever. To me, they have no. There's no value lesser than one has over the other. To me, they have the same amount of value. Just simply because one person's more successful financially doesn't make him more, a better person than the other. Simply because one person's heterosexual doesn't make them better than a homosexual. But a lot of heterosexuals, that's the thing I was going to ask you. A lot of heterosexuals, whether it's religiously based or not, feel that being heterosexual is better than being gay.
It's entitlement.
Yes, and as if it's, this is the way God meant it, blah blah blah, whatever. And even if that's true, even if that were true, like this is how we procreate. Yes, that's how people procreate, is with a man and a woman. Does that mean that people who are unique and different and an anomaly in a good way, in my sense, are valueless? We have no value? Fuck no. Look at what the fucking world would be without gay people, especially gay men. Give me a fucking break. Come on. So
girls wouldn't know how to walk in heels.
I mean, there would be no. Elizabeth Taylor said, if it weren't for gay men, there would be no Hollywood, and she's right. There'd be no Hollywood. There would be no fucking beauty salon. I mean, interior design. I mean, come on. The world would be a much more drab place without us in it. So there's a reason for us to exist and to be who we are and to be born gay and to be gay. We are gay because that's how we were born to be. And there's a purpose for each of us, like you were saying earlier. And to say that we're wrong for being who we are is to take away our divine right or our divinity and our humanity, I think. And that's what I hate about it. So anyway.
Yeah, nature created us. Regardless of what people think, we chose this lifestyle, if you roll it all the way back, the same nature that created you created me. So who are you to say that you're better than me? Because we were made the same way.
Exactly.
And that's, to me, that's simple. That's just really simple. And people that think they want to analyze all this, and I don't need you to analyze it, because I look at life very simply. And if something doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. And some of the stuff that they spout, it doesn't make sense, so it's not true. That's how I look at it.
But that's the problem, that's what I was trying to say to you, is that I have a really difficult time with people who are not using logic. And you're saying it doesn't make sense, it's not true, you're right. But that's the thing. You can sit there and you can argue with these idiots for hours on end, and they have this circular logic about everything, and it always comes back to their religious beliefs or something else. And it doesn't matter how logical you are. No, that's not how God meant it, because that's what I was told, or that's what the Bible says, or that's what my pastor says, or that's what I believe. What you believe is not factual. What you believe is simply what you believe. It's your idea or your opinion.
And some people believe what they're told to believe, without any ground, any basis in reality, or like we're talking about logic. Mm-hmm. Exactly. 1 and 1's always going to be 2, but y'all get to throwing 3s and 4s and 7s and 9s in there. It's not going to be 2. Y'all making something different,
Right, exactly. And that's the other thing, is like people who are like creationists, and I don't know, maybe are you a creationist, or are you someone who believes in evolution? Are you both? Combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay, but you don't believe that the Earth is only 5,000 years old, do you?
No, the Earth I think it's millions of years old.
Yeah, well, billions, yes. But what about, and so you don't believe that we walked alongside dinosaurs either, do you, or anything like that?
I kind of do.
Okay, what are you talking about? How can you? Okay, you yourself just said.
I took anthropology. That's why.
You took anthropology. Okay, well, then you should know that carbon dating shows that we weren't alive until much later than they
No, no,
were.
we don't know. And I believe that they were first, and then through evolution. So no, that's not true. I guess I missed that. No, and then we came. I think we came after the dinosaurs, but I think in
Yeah.
the no, I don't believe we was walking like we was. They were chasing us and
No,
running.
that's what I'm saying.
No, I don't.
Creationists,
No, not at all.
creationists believe. I mean, I'm not kidding when I tell you this. Creationists believe that the Earth is only 5,000 years old, which is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. But they believe that the Earth is only 5,000 years old, and that that we walked alongside dinosaurs. We rode on them like they were our horses and shit like that, which is so fucking stupid. And a million other things they believe, because they believe they believe in the Bible as it being infallible and being literal. So God created the earth in 7 days, blah, 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 all that kind of crap. So, and that's fine. I mean, whatever. To me, that's a metaphor in the Bible. It's not literal. But when it comes to the creationists, they believe this to be literal. So my point was going to be is that, okay, so these people believe that what I just mentioned to you, but they also believe, and I've said this to them before, and I've had arguments with them before. Okay, do you believe that the sky is blue and the grass is green because grass has chlorophyll and the sky has gamma rays and it has oxygen and nitrogen mixing together, blah, blah, blah? And they said, yes. I said, okay, and do you believe that the earth is round? Yes. And the earth revolves around the sun? Yes. Okay, so you believe these things. Why do you believe these things? Well, because that's what I was told, and that's what I've learned through my education, blah, blah, blah. And I said, what did you learn it through? Science, right? Well, yes. Okay, so you learn these things through science. You accept these things as truth. However, when it comes to evolution, you all of a sudden don't believe in science anymore. All of a sudden, your rational thinking goes out the window and your religious beliefs kick in and they supersede all of your rational thinking. Well, the Bible says this. And so I'm like, fuck the Bible. I know what the fucking Bible says. I want to know why you believe this about science, but not this. And so they can never answer the question, and they always go back around to the being either Bible this, Bible that. So that's what I'm trying to say is this dissonance, this cognitive dissonance what these people have when it comes to accepting the truth about what is scientifically proven, which is fact, versus what is a theory, which is their religion. And so why is that so? Why can't the two coexist to me? Why can't someone believe, okay, the earth is billions of years old and that dinosaurs existed before humans did, and we've been here for maybe 300,000 years as humans, whatever. But that's how God did it. That's how God created things. That's how it was meant to do. He set things in motion and things evolved that way. I mean, you can still be a Christian, I guess, and believe those things and still believe that it happened in that manner without having to believe that the Bible is literal. Don't you see what I mean?
I do agree. My personal belief on that, I think God did experiments. I think he made experiments because if you believe if you believe the Bible
which I do not,
and and we are made in God's image, then I can see where the creationists say that there's no way that there could be dinosaurs, because if they was on this planet and then or they can't believe in Cro-Magnon man or the Neanderthals, they can't believe in any of that because, you know, if we were made in God's image, he has to look like us.
Right.
You know, he has to be. So they can't accept that. They cannot. So that's what kills me about educated Christians. You know what science has proven. This hasn't been proven. Oh, well, I have my faith. Well, I understand that, but it's like we talked about earlier. There's sometimes you're gonna have to bring it back to the middle and be rational. Well, okay, let me really think about this with my educated mind. But you know, and I don't think I ever told you that my mother doesn't believe in dinosaurs.
She doesn't believe they ever existed?
No,
because she's Christian, or
because But my grandfather was a preacher, and he thought like I thought. And when I said, and then I asked him, I said, well, how did Adam and Eve make all these babies? Because if that was the case, there was a lot of incestuous relationships going on. He says, well, God focused on those two. And this is what he's saying. There were other people on earth at the time. This is my grandfather. This is somebody who preached from the Bible. And I'm like, huh. And my grandfather was a very intelligent man. And I'm like, huh. And that's what made me think. And then my grandfather believed in dinosaurs, but my mom does not.
How does your mother explain the big ass dinosaur bones we have?
She says it's all something that people made up just to get them to believe in dinosaurs. And I was like, "Are you serious?" And my mother's very intelligent. I'm like, seriously?
That's the thing, David. Is that that's the thing? There can be someone who is Harvard educated, even, you know what I mean, and a Nobel laureate or something, who's like one of the most intelligent people in the world or something, and they believe in this stuff, this, like, literally. And that's what I'm saying. There's a cognitive dissonance there. There's like this one side of their brain that's like, oh yeah, I'm intelligent, I'm intellectual, and I believe in science, but when it comes to the religious beliefs, it's completely turned off. So I don't understand it. And I'm not saying your mother's not intelligent. That's my point, is that even if she is intelligent, she still believes that dinosaurs never existed when the proof is there.
Yeah, and that was my example. I'm like, how can you? Because I know how smart my mother is, and but I'm like, well, how can you not accept that? That doesn't, and it's not like she's one of these Bible-toting Christians either. But this is something that.
But where did she hear? Let me say this though. Let me say something real quick. This is the problem I have, is that with a lot of people who are Christian or believe something, whatever it's Christian or whatever, and they hang around other people who are Christian, they hang around other people who think the way they do, or they get brainwashed or something, and because it's their peers or whatever. And I'm not saying, and whether you're intelligent or not, you can be brainwashed to some degree. And I think that maybe your mother's been hanging around too many people who believe this bullshit. You know what I mean? Her church or whatever.
She doesn't really hang out at church.
Then where the hell did she pick it up? Why does she?
I don't know. I think this is something that she's chosen to believe for herself, no matter where it's come from. I think that's part of her religion, her religious set of belief that, okay, I'm not going to believe this because I believe this literal sense of the word, of the text. I'm going to believe that, and I'm going to choose not to believe this. And that's where Christians have a problem. No, religious people have problems when they want to pick and choose different things from the Bible to satisfy their own spiritual needs, which is complete malarkey.
Yes, it is that for sure. It is that for sure. Well, I wanted when I come back real quick after the break, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things, if you don't mind. You want to hang on, or are you going to go?
I stopped my movie. I'm gonna stay on.
Oh yeah, I want to talk to you about that too. Okay, be right back.